Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kazakhstan. Channel and part 2 of my Kazakhstan adventures. My first video focused very much on a bit of a guide to traveling in Kazakhstan, my thoughts, my feelings, my advice. This one I'm going to focus on the 3 main things that I did in and around Almaty. Now of course this is not an extensive list, there are tons of things to do, tons more things to do, and I want to come back and I plan to come back and do all of those and make a big video about everything you must do in and around Almaty. But for now, here's the 3 main things that I did and that I loved and that I can tell you about. But of course, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, consider liking the video, comment on the video, put the notifications on for the next video, share the video with all your friends, do whatever you can, but great to have you here and it'd be good to have you back in the future. Okay, my first one of the best days I've had traveling in a long time was the Charon Canyon National Park. Alright, today's been the day I've been most excited about. We've come to Charon Canyon. This is unbelievable, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. We've come down in 4x4s all the way from Almaty. Stunning, mate. Now this is about 2 or 3 hours from Almaty and we went with our own guides, our own 4x4 in a little convoy. My first tip is I do recommend going with a guide on a proper tour because they will take you to places that you won't find on your own, but you can hire a car and find some of the main viewpoints but not all the other little gems. Either way, make sure it's somebody that will let you stop because the drive there itself is absolutely stunning and you're going to want to stop and take some pictures. For example, we wanted to stop for this farmer on his motorbike, for this beautiful herd of horses and for this hawk, this stunning hawk that we actually got quite close to. And if you want to see an influences in the wild shot, just have a look at us all creeping up on this hawk now. So our first stop was the Valley of Castles viewpoint. Now, if you want the epic, stunning view of the Charon Canyon itself, Central Asia's answer to the Grand Canyon, then this is the stop for you. As you approach it, you just see how vast and how huge it is. There's tons of places to take photos. You really can't get a bad photo there, but do be careful because there's some seriously dangerous drops. Apparently a couple of people do fall every year and sadly die, so be very careful with your pictures. After a good hour there, we went to the Lunar Canyon. Now this again is just an insane landscape like nothing you've seen. This one is called Lunar Gorge and it's obviously named after the moon. Oh yeah. Obviously Luna being named after the moon, but it looks a bit more like a combo of the moon and Mars if they had a landscape baby. If they had a landscape baby, I just came up with that. Just look at the drone shots. Again, it's really hard to take a bad photo. They set us up a really lovely lunch. We're a big group, so we had a nice packed lunch with an epic backdrop of Lunar Canyon, but there was nobody else there, it was just us. So it just shows you how untraveled and untouched some of these areas are. It's our 4th stop in the canyon. It's just getting better and better. The light is now perfect. It is literally unbelievable every time we stop. It looks amazing. We film so much stuff. I mean, look at this. Our final couple of stops, I don't have the exact names because this is where the guides took us off the beaten track. We really needed 4x4s as we sort of went up and down these crazy off-road dirt tracks through different canyons and hills, and we actually ended up right around the other side of the canyon as the sun came down, so we had this beautiful golden hour sunlight, almost a sunset, overlooking the canyon. Now that was actually one of those moments where everybody took a step back and was like, holy shit, we're actually here in Kazakhstan. The thing you have to do, number 2, you must go and see a lake. Now we went to the big Almaty Lake, which is one of the best. You've obviously got a couple of other lakes which I'll come to later. Alright, this is big Almaty Lake in Ilyalataw National Park. What can I say about this lake? It is unbelievably gorgeous. It's a bucket list lake. Stick this one on your bucket list. So Big Almaty Lake is in the Ili Alatu National Park, and that whole area is stunning, and I'm sure there's tons of hiking and wildlife and nature that you can see and explore. And I also really recommend you stop at the AUSI Visitor Centre. That's brand new, and it's been built to educate young people and anybody on ecotourism and sustainable tourism, which is a really fantastic initiative. It has many functions, so it's a cafe, it's a visitor centre, it's a co-working space, you've got spaces for talks and for learning, and you've also got these incredible glamping tents. I actually felt like this whole place had Yosemite vibes just without any people, so I really recommend stopping by, and if you want to wake up in the heart of nature in Kazakhstan, then book one of those glamping tents. I'm for sure going to be trying to get one of those next time I'm here. And then after that we went up to the lake. So it's about another 20 minutes drive through windy mountain roads up to the lake, because the lake is actually really high. It's at 2,511 meters above sea level, and it's surrounded by mountains that go as high as 4,000 meters. So you can just get an idea of the grand scale of the scenery that you get. And on the drive up there you get a little bit of a taster. You start to see the mountains out of the window, but honestly nothing can quite prepare you for pulling up to the viewpoint and seeing this stunning blue turquoise lake. Apparently the colour changes throughout the year with these mountains as a backdrop. We went there as the last thing we did in Kazakhstan, the last evening, and honestly what a place to finish. What a place to finish our trip on. Again, having a bit of a moment, getting our photos, flying the drones. As you can imagine, there's a few content creators on our trip, but it was just one of the most brilliant places to go, and honestly you have to go to Big Almaty Lake when you visit Kazakhstan. I should also just mention that the lake is used for hydroelectric power for Almaty, and also provides a lot of the water for the city, so you can't swim in it, you can just enjoy the view. You can hike around it in the summer as well. But I totally recommend that you stop here at Big Almaty Lake. The third and final place was a toss-up between the ski resort and the cable car, so I'm going to mention both, but let's start off. The one I chose was the Shymbulak ski resort. You can visit that in summer or winter. Obviously in winter, from the months of November to May, you can go skiing, and I've been told a lot about this place because I've got a friend from Russia that goes every year and she loves it. So totally recommend that as a ski destination. There's about 20 lifts. You can go as high as 3,163 meters, and it's known for being quite humid and quite mild. So you've got fresh snow, but yeah, actually it's quite a mild climate to skiing. And then of course, like any mountainous region, it's beautiful in the summer as well. You can go hiking, horse riding, climbing, buggy riding even, or just sit there and enjoy the sun and have a nice lunch being surrounded by views. The best restaurant in town is Chalet. I totally recommend you go there. The food is brilliant and you've got great views out over the mountains. And then the best part is it's only 25 kilometers from Almaty City, so you can stay in the city and then jump on a bus or jump in the car and go skiing during the day. I absolutely love cities like that. We've got a couple in Europe and they're some of my favorites. Cities surrounded by mountains is just a winner on all parts. And then finally, check out the Medio skating rink. It's the highest ice skating rink in the world. It's where a lot of athletes go to train, and there's some amazing views. For us it was summer, so there wasn't any ice, but you can go in the winter of course and go ice skating on the highest skating rink in the world. Alright, finally, I said it wasn't an extensive list because I didn't do everything, but we did do the Koktobi cable car. That's a must do. You can get incredible views over the city, enjoy the sunset, and have a crazy toboggan ride. Honestly, that is for the thrill seekers amongst you. And the other things that will be on my list to do, there is Lake Kandy, which looks incredible and stunning. There's Lake Issyk, not sure how I'm pronouncing that. There's the singing dunes in the Altin Emel National Park, and the Asi Observatory, a dark sky reserve, and then the Tambali rock carvings. Now I've just read them, I'm not 100% sure if I've pronounced them right, but they're all pins in my Google Maps, and I for sure will be seeing them all next time and creating an incredible video when Kazakhstan has me back. So there you have it, they are my top tips for Almaty in Kazakhstan, the 3 things you must do, plus a few others thrown in for good measure. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment with any questions you've got, share it with your mates. It's great to be back, it's great to have you watching. Thank you so much, and of course, happy travels.